Hey, what's up, Beardbrand fam? Bob the Barber here in the one and only barbershop. Hey, what's up, Beardbrand fam? Bob the Barber here in the one and only Beardbrand Barbershop in Austin, Texas. And I've got my pal Steve here, and we're gonna take off a few years.
The more years, the better.
Hey, do you know that 2 out of 3 guys are gonna experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35? The best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it before you lose it. With Keeps, a licensed doctor will review your information online and recommend the right hair loss treatment plan for you. Then, your treatment is shipped directly to your door every 3 months. The sooner you start using Keeps, the more hair you can save. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/beardbrand or click the link in the description to receive 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/beardbrand. Steve, what you rocking these days? This is something that you've been growing out on purpose, or?
No, actually, I generally let it grow out until I can't stand it, and then I have it cut short.
When you do chop it down to the foundation, what are you usually getting?
I walk in, I just say, get it off my ears, get it off my neck, cut as much gray as you can. I used to say, cut as much gray as you can.
When you probably could, right?
Right.
Do you, when you do have it shorter, or even at this length, do you style it? Do you throw any pomade in it, some product?
This is not what you want to hear, but I do nothing.
So it's a low maintenance. Well, see, those are some of the conversations that a lot of us barbers, we have with guys who are a little lower maintenance. You just want something that's going to be ease of use. You wake up, shake it out, it's good to go, which I'm a big fan of myself. I'm just trying to picture a game plan for what I might want to do. I think I'm going to give you 2 haircuts. I think I'm going to give you a nice classic look.
What a deal, what a deal.
For the price of 1. But you remind me, your glasses, your look, you remind me a lot of the guy from Jurassic Park. You're like a bootleg version of Steve Goldblum. I want to give you a real kind of classic look, and then I'm going to shave it down one more time just to get it down to the bare necessities. Yeah, so you've got the hair that's going gray and not away. Speaking of just like old technology, what were the guys doing with their hair when it was going away back in the day?
Well, comb overs for one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There used to be a lot of these weird-looking toupees that people would throw on. Do you remember that scene in Goodfellas? What's his name? Morty?
Yes, as a matter of fact, that's a classic scene.
And then they had those ads on TV where you spray on hair.
Yeah, there's like fibers and all kinds of hairspray. Nah, just like the conditioning and shampooing, like technology improving. A lot of that, yeah. These days, guys can kind of catch it a little earlier, and there's products out there like Keeps that are fantastic at stopping the problem before it becomes a problem.
Right.
And it's way better than having to do the Marty toupee. So right now we're just chopping off a lot of that bulk. So the last time you did have a haircut that was a lot shorter, what were you looking at? How long ago has that been?
It's been about probably 5-6 weeks.
Oh, really? So you typically keep it a little shorter. When do you shave it all off, like you were saying?
Well, I had a ponytail up until about 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
All kinds of surprises with you, Steve.
You always want to do new things. So I said, if I'm ever going to do this, this is the time. And so I grew a ponytail, kept it for about, I don't know, close to a year.
So 5 years ago, so like long hair on older gentlemen was like, it wasn't like back in the day when it was hippy dippy or you were a biker.
Back in the day, full beard, lots of hair. I was at Woodstock.
Oh, dang. So you got to, you've seen it, you've done it all.
Time is something that doesn't stop. But if you're always doing the same thing all the time, it goes real quick. And if you want to slow down time, you have to do new things all the time.
I like that advice.
That's the wisdom that I've picked up. Experiencing new things, it just slows the clock. If you just do the same thing, every day is the same.
Man, that is really breaking my heart because as a barber,
I don't know what.
it's like
Well,
every day is the same, but it's not.
but it's not. You're
yeah.
always doing different stuff. If everybody had the same head of hair, if you were always doing buzz cuts, that would be disastrous.
Yeah, that day would go by a lot slower, but life would pass by a lot quicker.
That's correct.
So, when you were rocking the full beard and the hair back at Woodstock, what was your inspiration? Were you looking at like artists,
No,
musicians?
I just wanted to be hip. You know,
And that was the look, eh?
it was the look.
Has your
I spent some time out on the West Coast, picking apples and stuff like that. I don't know. A child of the '60s is all I can tell you.
It's always fun to be around guys who are really trendy and fashion forward. Get that first like kind of different haircut, and then you realize, oh man, these guys are being inspired by pictures and music and artists from way back when, from those Woodstock eras and the 80s. Like right now, I think we're in a big 90s kind of phase.
It's interesting the way you go gray. Like the way I went gray, it started at my temples. So, and then it spread from there. But when it was just my temples that were going gray, it had this kind of distinguished look.
So, like I said, I wanted to do 2 haircuts. I wanted to see what it looked like as more of the distinguished kind of like swept back sides. He's got this great straight hair. It would look really classic with a bit of a side part or even slick straight back. But I think if I'm gonna go for that, is his name Steve Goldblum? Is Steve Goldblum? Just wanna make sure. Mad respect for that guy. He's so awesome. If I wanna end up with that like look, that means we're gonna take off a lot of this. So I wanna just kind of enjoy a little bit of the length while we got it. It takes so long to grow it, and then no time flat to take it off. So I just wanted to see what it looked like. Enjoy a little bit of that real quick, and then really take those sides down a little more aggressively, just to modernize the look a little bit. Did you ever buzz your head?
No.
No.
Nope. Would you like to try? Well, I've done a crew cut. No. No.
That's where I draw the line.
Let's stop right there. I mean, when I was like 6 years old, 8 years old,
Oh yeah.
I used to do a crew cut.
What were the barbershop experiences like for you growing up?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, it was a bookie joint. Sal the Barber.
Oh, I love it. What'd you do growing up?
New York.
Okay. Sal the Barber seems very appropriate.
He was up the block. He definitely ran numbers.
Well, cutting crew cuts on little guys wasn't paying the bills, man. That's
No, I don't think so.
So right now I'm just taking off the very bottom of the perimeter of your hairline. If I was doing a skin fade, this is as far as I'd be going on a low fade. Just taking off some of that bulk. Still plenty of hair, just a lot shorter, a lot more aggressive. And then we'll start working our way.
I'm not afraid.
I like it. I like your style. Jeff Goldblum.
That's
Jeff
it.
Goldblum. That's what it was. I knew it. I
He's
felt
right.
it in my.
He was great in Independence Day. He's been good in a lot of stuff. I used to get a barber shave fairly frequently, like once every few weeks. Joe the Barber.
Man, such good names. Sal the Barber, Joe the Barber. I'm Bob the Barber, but that's not as cool. So as I'm spinning you around the mirror, I see that there's a little bit of deviation from where your dark hair and your gray hair mix, and it looks like a little bit of striping. So I'm gonna try to create the illusion that it's a smoother blend, even though it's a color thing. If I can get it closer to the skin, just in some of these areas, just to not attract so much attention to those spots. Which is once again why so many people these days don't always trust a product until it's it's got a lot of people giving it the reviews. One of the things that I try to pay attention to when I'm doing one of these like shorter cuts after seeing the potential in a longer cut is that as it grows out, it should get there with no issue. And as you're going through the growing process, being that you take a little bit of time in between those haircuts, yeah, you'll get to that spot and the top will work really nicely with the sides. Get a little more life out of this one for right now. Like I said, I want it to be, I'm gonna add some texture to it right now. We'll blow dry it. Yes.
So I always do what I'm told.
Definitely brings it, like pops it.
How old is this here? About a month?
About a week and a half.
A week and a half, really?
2 weeks maybe.
So if you hadn't taken care of this would, you might have a really nice beard hiding out of there.
I have a full beard, yeah.
Yeah. I think what we're going to start off with is just really digging in the shape of it with some of these cheek line and the neckline. It really accentuate your sharp lines and make this beard look youthful and proper. You typically try to put it right above the Adam's apple. Start there.
I do not have an aggressive jaw.
So those are some of the things to take into account,
Right.
and help create the illusion. Other thing that you can try to do, it's a little more advanced, and I'm gonna do it for you. But what you do is you blend out this line. So instead of having a really sharp hairline under your neck, you essentially blend it out.
You graduated.
Yes, sir. Your beard right now is probably 1.5, 1 if you were just looking at a classic wall guard. So what I'm using right now is my adjustable clipper opened up all the way to a half. And then I'm just raking the teeth at this bottom portion to see how much it takes off. And like you said, to create that gradual line. A bit of a graduation, a little bit of a blend. So your hair is medium to fine texture. It's really soft. It's got a little bit of weight to it right now. So to give it some volume, I'm gonna add some of our sea salt spray. Literally has sea salt in the product with a little bit of clay, and that clay helps dehydrate the hair a bit so that it actually gives it some grit and some bite and some texture without making the hair super hard holding.
So you recommend less shampoo and more conditioner?
Correct. So everyone's a little different. Your skin's a little different, your hair's a little different than mine, correct? So what I usually tell guys is to start by not adding more to your process, but taking away. So just don't shampoo as often.
So what's that, like every third day, every fourth day? Every second day?
Yes. I usually go by, depending on how my hair is feeling. If I had a rough day, shampooing is going to clean your scalp, really keep it rejuvenated and just and healthy. But it's a detergent, so too much detergent on your hands, it starts to crack up, start to get itchy, and that's it's going to damage your hair. Once again, just making it a little brittle and frizzy. So as you're growing it out, it's not going to be as enjoyable of a look. This, I'm just really cleaning up the edges without being too aggressive, trying to push it too far in. It'll make it look nicer as it grows out.
Mom's gonna think George Clooney's coming to
Hey, that's the other, see, that's another guy, that's a perfect example of somebody graying with style. Talking about his neckline, his cheek lines, I'm gonna focus on really sharpening up those areas, but on this neckline, once again, just going just shy of the actual area where the hair starts, just to have a smoother, softer transition. We're talking about moisture quite a bit. I'm gonna throw in some of our beard oil to moisturize that skin after beating it up right now. So this is For Vices. It's a fragrance of ours that we formulated to have a little bit of hops, tobacco, some cannabis, and the last one, and coffee. Yeah, that's my vice.
You know what the best part of this is?
What's that?
Without my glasses, I can't see a thing.
You look,
I have no idea what you just
look
did.
fantastic. You've never looked better.
I have no clue what you've done or what it looks like until I put my glasses back on.
This is where that amount of trust in me is just like at an all-time high.
Is this more of the Jeff Goldblum look?
Correct. I would imagine that you could probably be a really good stunt double for him.
Well, it'd be a real tough time to start a career.
Oh!
Great.
I think it looks great, brother. And this is an easy, it's a nice balanced haircut, so letting it hang out straight back, you can style it to the left, to the right, let it hang out a little bit with some of that wave. I think once you start taking care of it with that extra conditioning, it'll lay down a lot nicer, so even those days that you do absolutely nothing to it, I think it's gonna look fantastic.
Hey, I'm Mark. I think that Beardbrand products and the Beardbrand mission, they've really helped me kind of wear my beard and present it to the world in a way that, honestly, for the first time in my life, like, kind of makes me feel kind of handsome. You know, sometimes. But anyway, thanks, guys.